Today, I'm pretty excited as I've got something in this box that I think is going to level up my workshop. It's what's inside this box that can turn any flat surface into a functional router table. But not just any router table, a completely flexible one, being able to accommodate almost any size router you may have with the ability to make micro adjustments. So join me today as we take a look at this brand new SpeedTool router lift and see if it's right for your shop. So if you haven't heard of SpeedTool, it's a brand that I've been fairly impressed with in the past. In fact, I did an entire video on their router sled a few years ago. But today we're doing something entirely different, as I'd like to create a router table out of one of my old workbenches with this new SpeedTool router lift. And for today's video, I'd like to unbox this tool, set up our workbench so that we can install this router lift and get it set up and ready to go. So let's not waste any more time and get this router lift unboxed. Did you hear Post Malone wants to lift the burden on student debt with new graduates? Yeah, it's called Post Malone's Postpone Malones. So as far as a router lift goes, I'm already liking the fact that there's not a whole lot of pieces here, which means that assembly should be pretty easy. Now this isn't my first router lift. In fact, I've had the Craig router lift and the Craig router table for quite some time, and it suited me quite well. But I've always wanted to create my own router table with just a little bit more space, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. So let's dive right in and take a look at some of the components that come with this kit. First off, you'll find the router lift itself, which feels very high quality and it has a hardened aluminum table. Along with that lift, you're going to find 3 different size plates to accommodate the different size router bits that you'll be using in your table. And the nice thing about each one of these plates is they're magnetic and they click right into place once you place them on top of your table. Now to remove these plates, you can simply pull it out with your finger, but it also comes with another accessory to make the removal just a little bit easier. Simply take this item, pinch it together, and slide it into the 2 slots on the side of the plate and easily remove that plate. The next couple of items you'll find in this kit are a couple of sockets to help you make adjustments with this router lift. The smaller one is intended to be used once we go to install our router into the router lift, while the larger one has more of an everyday functionality, as this is used to not only raise and lower the lift, but also lock it into place. This router lift kit also comes with a guide rail that can be easily screwed into either side of the table. And although I don't always use one of these, this is a nice safety feature. You're also going to find a variety of different hardware, including hex keys, shims, nuts and bolts, as well as screws. And finally, you'll find something that I didn't know what it was, and this frankly makes this kit one of the most unique router lift kits out there. Believe it or not, these are actually router templates to not only help you perfectly place this router lift, but also make sure it seats perfectly into your workbench. And I haven't seen any other router lift that comes with templates like this, and it's these templates that really allow you to place this router lift into any surface that you want. And that about covers every piece that comes with this kit, but I want to get this thing installed. Let me quickly show you how to get this SpeedTool router lift installed on my workbench. Unfortunately, recently I had to quit my job at that construction site. Yeah, I couldn't deal with all the heavy lifting. I guess you could say in one way or another I gave my 2-week notice. Now since the SpeedTool router lift is a standard size, it's going to fit most router tables. In fact, it will fit right into my Craig router table. However, the way I customized my cabinet underneath that router table, this one's not going to fit, and that's another reason why I'm making this table. So let's grab those 2 templates so that I can show you how to install this thing on a standard table. The first thing that I want to do is to figure out where I want to install this lift. In my case, I want to do it directly in the center of the table. With my markings now made, I'll simply nest the smaller template inside the larger one and place it so that center mark is directly inside the templates. Then I want to grab some double-sided tape and affix the larger of the 2 templates so that it's perfectly centered on my workbench. With the larger of the 2 templates secured to my workspace, I now want to grab that smaller template and add some double-sided tape once again and place it directly inside that larger template. With both templates now secured, I now want to grab a drill and a drill bit that's large enough so that a jigsaw blade can fit inside that drill hole. Then it's just a matter of chucking that drill bit into our drill so that we can drill out a few holes. What I'm going to do next is to drill a hole on the interior corners of both of our templates so that we can have a relief hole for our jigsaw. And this by no means needs to be perfect, as we're just looking for a rough cutout with the jigsaw. With all 4 of those holes cut out, I'm now going to take my jigsaw and put in a wood cutting blade. Then it's as simple as taking my jigsaw and connecting each one of those 4 holes to remove the majority of the waste. And once again, this doesn't have to be perfect. We're just looking to remove as much waste as possible so that we can refine it with the router in just a moment. And after that piece falls to the floor, you can see we have a roughly cut out hole for where we're going to put this router lift. But we need to clean this hole up a bit. To do that, we're actually going to use the template in combination with our router. And to do this, we're going to use a flush trim bit with a top mounted bearing, and that bearing is just going to ride up right against our template. And I obviously don't have a very large bit for this, so this is going to take a couple of passes, but after the first pass you can see how much cleaner it looks. So I'll continue this process by raising my router bit each time I go around that template until I get all the way through my tabletop. And this really did take a few passes. I'm probably due for getting a larger bit. And once we have all that sawdust cleaned up, you can see how crisp and clean that hole is for where we're going to put this lift. But we're only about halfway there, as we need to create a lip on this tabletop so that our router lift table can sit flush to our tabletop. In order to do this, we need to remove that inner template from the tabletop, so I'll grab a putty knife and remove that inner template. With that template removed, I now want to grab that router lift and a couple of cards, and these could be business cards or even playing cards. We're going to use those cards and the template to set the height of our router bit. We first want to place the two cards on the corner of the router lift and then place the template right on top. Then we'll place the base plate of our router up against the bottom side of that router table and raise that bit until it touches the very top of that template. Then it's as simple as taking our router and going around the interior of our larger router template and creating the little lip on our tabletop. And this might take just a little bit more time, as there's a little bit more material to remove here for this lip than there was for the first cut we made. And after we clean up all that sawdust, you can see how crisp and clean that ledge that we just created looks. Now that we have that ledge created, we can once again remove the template with a putty knife so that we can fit the router lift into this void to see how it fits. And all I have to say is I take my straight edge and place it over my tabletop as well as my router lift. That's pretty darn good, especially with no adjustments. But the nice thing about this lift is you can make some micro adjustments with it so that it sits completely flush with your tabletop, and it has everything to do with these copper shims. Now to use these shims, I'm just going to take a long nib marker, but you could use a Pica pencil and just mark out where each one of those leveling holes is. Then I can remove the router lift and you can clearly see where each one of those holes falls on the lip. Then I'm going to take one of those shims and place it over each one of those markings with some CA glue, although it doesn't say you need to add it with CA glue. Now for some reason, even though there's 10 leveling screws for this router lift, it only gives you 8 shims to place over top those holes. But I'll strategically place them so that I get an equal amount all around the base. With all of those bronze shims now in place, installation of this router lift is just about complete, and we can now place this lift into that void. There's only a couple of more things to do. The first thing that we need to do is to pre-drill some holes for those permanent mounting screws. Then we can slide the permanent mounting screws into place with a washer and tighten them up with the included hex key. And then it's just a matter of placing all of the leveling screws into place so that you can begin calibration. And with the guide rail screwed into place, this thing is ready to have your router installed as well as start with calibration. Let's dive into installing a router and calibrating this SpeedTool router lift. You know I'm going to start a new company in Russia. Yeah, it's for renting heavy machinery for lifting heavy materials. I think I got a perfect name for it. It's called Ukraine. To install the router into this router lift, we first need to remove it from our tabletop by simply unscrewing the permanent screws that hold that router lift in place. With the router lift now removed, we want to place it on its side so that we can add the router to this lift. The first thing that we want to do is to loosen the locking knob, which is located on the very bottom of the lift, and this is done by simply rotating it counterclockwise. With that knob now loosened, we now want to grab the router that we want to install with this lift. In my case, I'm going to use one of my old corded DeWalt palm routers. To prep this router for installation, I want to make sure I remove the sleeve as well as the base so that we just have the router itself. Before we slide that router into the lift, let's talk about how this thing actually works. In order to see how this thing functions, we need to grab the larger metal socket. By inserting the socket onto the side of the tool, you can open and close the jaws of the router lift. As you rotate that socket, you can see that the jaws on either side of the lift close simultaneously, making this a true universal lift. And the jaws can really be opened pretty wide, up to about 4.5 inches, which means that you can place some larger routers into this lift. But for me, I'm putting my old palm router in, so let's slide it into this lift and tighten those jaws down until it gets a firm grip on my router. And for this process, you want to make sure it's tight, but not too tight, as you don't want to bend the frame of your router. And the final thing you can do is to secure that locking knob on the very bottom just to make sure nothing moves on you. Before I install this lift back into my table, I do want to take a quick look at how much movement you get with this lift, and in this case it's about 4.5 inches. But let's get this router and this router lift seated back into its table so that we can begin to calibrate it. Now one thing you'll notice with this router lift now secured back into the table is that with its wide range of motion you can actually raise that router so that its locking tab and its collet are well above the table. This means that exchanging out your bit, at least for this palm router, is going to be extremely easy to do. Now let's make sure our tabletop and our router lift table are completely flat and level. In order to do that, we need to grab a straight edge. Now in my case, I got pretty darn lucky and everything appears to be pretty even. However, if you need to raise that router lift table, you can simply adjust the leveling screws until it's completely even. And that covers just about everything you need to know with calibration and installing your router into this SpeedTool router lift. But let's take a closer look at what's going on the top of this router lift, starting off with how you adjust this tool up and down. If we look at the very front of the router lift, you're going to see two dials, an orange dial as well as a black dial, and these serve two different purposes. By taking the socket with a handle, you can place it into that orange dial and rotate it in the clockwise direction to raise your bit and the counterclockwise to lower your bit. And if we look at the scale on that dial, you can see you can really dial it in, with each rotation being 5/100ths of an inch and each individual tick mark being 1/1000th of an inch. Now let's take a look at that second black dial. As you can see, this is a lock and unlock dial. Once again, take your handled socket and place it into this black dial and rotate it in the clockwise direction to lock your bit into place. This will just prevent any movement of that router bit if there's any chatter when you go to make your cuts. And when you're ready to make an adjustment with that bit, simply rotate it in the counterclockwise direction to unlock your bit. Another nice feature of the router plate is it does have markings on either side of the router plate so that you can reference the exact center of where that router bit is. Finally, let's talk about these two metal plates that are screwed into place at the very top of the router plate. These two tabs are so that you can install an aftermarket SpeedTool dust collection shroud, which I actually picked up a couple of months ago. Now I'm not going to go into detail about this dust collection chute as it also comes with a router plate which we obviously don't need. But I will take that shroud off the router plate and get it installed on this router lift, and it really is a pretty easy process. First, I'll unscrew the 8 screws that hold in the 2 plates right on top of that router lift. With those screws removed, I can remove the 2 plates and add the dust collection plates that are included with the shroud. Then I can insert the 2 T-bolts on the back of the dust collection shroud into the T-track and lock it into place. Then by adding a dust collector to the very back of this item, I instantly have dust collection on this new router table. I just need to pick up the correct adapter. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on checking out the latest addition to my shop, the SpeedTool router lift. Not only can this do everything that my Craig router lift can do, but it also has those nice templates so that you can add this thing to any tabletop you want. And I couldn't be more pleased with how easy this thing was to set up and even create an entire router table just in an afternoon. Before you check out Bert's Bombs at the end of this video, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, and share this video. It truly does help out this woodworking channel. Also, if you haven't checked out my website, go to FlynnDoggWoodwork.com, where you can get access to all sorts of fun woodworking accessories like all the t-shirts that I wear in my videos. And I've just released some new models of shirts. And if any of these SpeedTool items intrigue you, I'll be sure to leave links in the description below so that you can go check them out for yourself. And last but not least, if you'd like to support this channel even further, check out my channel memberships where you can get early access to all my videos as well as one member video a week. Until next time, take care as always. All right, let's get it, folks. So did you hear Guns N' Roses had a flat tire in town yesterday? Yeah, in order to change that tire out, they had to use a jack to lift the bus up. I guess when they used that jack, you could say that Axl Rose. Come on. He's a singer. Man. Well, let's give this one a shot. You ever wonder what happens when that smog lifts over Los Angeles? UCLA. Come on, let's go. Damn. All right, let's try. Did you know back in the day when Hulk Hogan was done with the match, he used to say, when I get home, I'm gonna rip my wife's panties off. True story. I guess the elastic really hurt him.